Yes, people, welcome back to AFTV. It's time to predict the 11 for Real Madrid versus Arsenal in the second leg. Who gets that starting spot? We're going to run through it. We'll see what we think the manager will go with and what we would like to see. Starting with in goal. Neto didn't play the other night, which I think some fans were asking for. It was David Raya. Same, I'm sure we can skip past this quite quickly. David Raya. Any concerns around David Raya though? Anything that you seem to have the same performances as before?
Nah, big night for him. He's been great this season, and to be honest, I think he's proved a lot of critics wrong about the whole Ramsdale debate. So yeah, he starts for me.
I was going to do a lot less talking in this video, but I must say, if we get to penalties, Raya,
Yeah,
please do not.
So one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, stop diving out of the way of him. I mean,
please.
crikey, he does well at that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Brother, we rate
Dives
you,
before and after it's taken. Like.
we rate you so much. Stop going early, please.
Oh,
Listen, I shouldn't be saying this. I'm just a fan at the end of the day. But please, if we get into penalties, wait.
Let's not go there, man.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about penalties.
Right, let's go.
That's insane.
Yeah, let's go to a position that is up in the air. The right back position. Then Ben White. I've got what was said here about Ben White after the game on the weekend. Ben White, we don't know. He wasn't in the condition to make the squad today. That was obviously on the weekend. On Saturday to be selected. We have a few days, so let's wait and see. Hopefully he will be fit. I actually reading that, it feels like Arteta might be a little bit coy there, and he's holding the fact that he will be available. Hopefully Ben White is available because of the dark heart side as well. But Real Madrid are going to be trying all sorts there. Does he go in right back for you, or do you put someone like Thomas Partey? I know he's currently, up in the air as well if he will play, but who's going right back? Is it Timber?
Timber's unbelievable against Real Madrid. Sometimes you have to stop yourself from saying crazy things like, this might be the best right back in the world, because it's like, relax, there's Trent, there's others who've been doing it for a lot longer. But there's very little he doesn't have to his game. Maybe a little bit of finesse in the final third in terms of that cross and that kind of creativity. But otherwise, his technique is superb. His strength is great. Can play across the whole back four. He can lock down wingers. He's really confident. I think him and Lewis-Skelly set the tone in the first 10 minutes because they were the ones that were happy to, under pressure, actually beat the Madrid player, beat the press, and actually open the game up for us. And I think he's sensational. So I'm not quite at best right back in the world. Sometimes you see games and you go, oh my word, what can't he do? That the point is the fact that he's even performing to a level where we're thinking, I wouldn't want to swap this guy. I love him to bits. And when Ben White comes back, he's going to have to work hard for that place when Ben White is fully available. But then again, I want to be in a world where next season, Saliba, you can sit this one out because we're going to go Timber, White, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Or actually, Timber, thanks, you just played 3 games in a week. White, you're going to start the next 2. That's what City have done over the years. So I'd love to be in that position, and I think all these options is great. And if there's one area where Arteta's talent idea has been absolutely spot on, it has been in the defence. He's rebuilt that and the goalkeeping position at Arsenal, a position of serious weakness for us for many, many, many years. He's kind of nailed that. So if you get the forwards, everything behind is ready to go, in my opinion.
It's so funny. Dan will come to you in a second. It's so funny you said about Timber. Like, you stop yourself from saying he's the best in the world.
Because he's not. But sometimes you're like, this guy is... Well, okay. No,
but you know what? When you was talking, you said about Lewis-Skelly, and I was like, wow, they're actually really similar in the way they have strength and how they play. Then I was like, and then you said Timber on the ball, it's not got the finesse. And I'm like, but Miles really has that. So it's Miles
final third, I mean, though. Yeah. Not like, technically he's superb, Timber. I mean, like, that final third whipped cross, or that through ball. That kind of the modern fullback tends to have that now.
Fair.
He's maybe like, Ben White has that more than
But that's why I was looking at Miles Lewis-Skelly. I was like, you have the drive to go forward, try and shoot, try and score. So I stopped my brain from saying, so you're saying Miles Lewis-Skelly's better than Timber. But I'm like, whoa, we can't be doing that. But you look at the both players trajectory-wise, Miles Lewis-Skelly has also been superb. But right back, and we're home back in on that. Are you sticking with Timber, or if Ben White is fit, do you try and get him in and change that centre-back pairing?
Nah, you don't move Timber out of that position, mate. He absolutely locked up Vinny. I don't know. I think I'm running out of superlatives from him, if I'm honest with you, brother. I think the guy's ridiculous. ACL injury, consistently playing at left back, right back, centre back. He's been phenomenal. He's been consistently good. And I know Partey and Rice won that midfield battle, but for me, the 2 fullbacks were outstanding.
Yes.
And I don't think spoken about enough. And I'll put it out there. I think Julian Timber, other than Gabriel, has been Mikel Arteta's best signing. I think he's been better than Ødegaard. I think he's been better than Rice. I think he's been better than all those guys. I look at how good he has been. Because you look at Rice and Ødegaard and what their expectation has been. This guy has literally overachieved, in my opinion. Coming back from an ACL is not something you just brush off, by the way. Yeah. And then he's coming up against, let's be real, some of the best wingers that have been, some unbelievable wingers. Yeah. Now we're talking about Real Madrid. We're not talking, no disrespect to an AFC Wimbledon winger or a Swansea City winger here. Do you know what I'm saying? This guy's locking up a lot of top players. And Timber and Lewis-Skelly, for me, they both get the nod because I thought they were outstanding at the Emirates. I really did.
That's a debate for another show. One of Arteta's best signings, Timber.
I think he has been Timber.
I think there's a conversation there. Let's go into. I'm gonna come back to you, Dan. Then for centre back pairing, are you sticking with what you saw here at the Emirates?
Well, we don't have too many options. Obviously, if Ben White is fit, there's a question mark over whether he could start. And then obviously you move either Timber or Ben White into the centre, and then play Saliba on the left side like he does for France. I don't think you can really say that would be fair on Kiwior. I've got to be real and honest with you. I'm not a lover of Kiwior's long-term future at Arsenal. I think he wants to play first-team football, and we can't really give that to him when Gabriel's back. But I saw a stat that we've only lost 3 games when they've played together, Saliba and Kiwior. 2 of those were in the cup games, and one of them was against Fulham last year. Every single other game we haven't lost, and there's about 30 of these games. It's not like we've only played 7 together. They've actually played over 30 games together, Saliba and Kiwior, in a partnership over the last couple of years, and the stats are looking pretty good. I'm not really a stats man. That's for my good man over there. But I've got to be honest with you. I read that and I thought, wow, okay. Fair play, because sometimes partnerships just work. I remember when we were in absolute dire straits and it was like, who are we trying to pick here? And Pablo Mari and Rob Holding had the best partnership stats, and we're like, how far have we come, man? Like,
is this our best centre back partnership?
Is this our best partnership? Wow, is that where we've come from? So I look now and I think that Saliba and Kiwior is not so bad, is it? I think it would be harsh to drop Kiwior, if I'm honest with you. So I'll go with those. I'll go with those as a back.
Holding, thank you.
We beat West Brom away, so we went, is this our best partnership?
Pablo Mari and Holding is
Portsmouth, we went through in the FA Cup. Yeah, that's looking good.
Dark days, but we're here
for the
now.
next 10 years. We're sorted.
Generational. Right, let's for you, James. Are you sticking with what we saw at the home leg?
Do you know what I loved about that Madrid game and the performance from Saliba was how much he stepped up as the leader without Gabriel. It's okay for Saliba to maybe be the guy who's unbelievable as well, but maybe doesn't lead because Gabriel's there. I think a partnership has one that takes control. He really did against Madrid. He actually got us out of trouble a couple times that first 20 minutes, where there was a slip or there was a moment or there was a bad pass. He was the one who actually just dealt with the danger. Because Kiwior didn't start the game very well. I've got to be honest, he didn't. But he got better and better and better. I think he made a tackle on Mbappe in maybe the 60th minute. Then I thought, it kind of sounds so silly, but sometimes it could be a little bit of a, oh right, he's tackleable. Now maybe I'm no professional athlete, so I'm probably really doing a disservice to their mentality. But sometimes it can just be the little moments in a game that give you confidence, you build on it. Kiwior got better and better throughout. And as you said, those numbers, football, I always say, even though I like the numbers, I always say eyes first, eye test first. Yeah. However, sometimes it's a case of, they haven't lost, playing together. Well, there's something in that then, isn't there? Keep it going.
I get it. I never question your take when it comes to, in your opinion, because you're right. That I think it was Conor Bradley, Liverpool against Real Madrid, took tackle. They tackled Mbappe. Look how crazy their whole the whole stadium erupted. Their fan base were talking about. AGT was coming and saying, "Did you see what he did?" It's like, brother, all right, he tackled. Listen, it's Mbappe, but don't underestimate
something small like that.
Don't underestimate how big that is for players' confidence and a performance. Left back. Is it?
Yeah.
Don't let me talk too much. Lewis-Skelly.
Man. Yeah. If I'm honest with you, if I would have said to anybody, you're going to get on a plane to pre-season, you're going to involved in the first team squad, find yourself on the bench, get yourself on the pitch, play left back, hold that position down, get called up for your country, score on your debut and play against Real Madrid, I think he would have said you're dreaming. And all within 6 months to 8 months, I think the kid is ridiculous, man. We're talking about a player here that I think is going to be an absolutely superb talent. And I was looking forward to what Ethan Waneri could do this season. I didn't expect Lewis-Skelly to come on the scene like he has. And I think we've we've not spoken about it enough, really. I think
haven't.
we've brushed past
We
it now.
haven't.
It's like, we'll play at left back, that'll be a typical performance. Right, who's in midfield? Actually,
haven't.
man, let's appreciate what he's done at 18 years old.
Yeah,
This is
agreed.
exceptional, man, for me.
Dan, thank you, because I mean, me and Curtis did a live stream. It's on the channel, and we spoke about Lewis-Skelly for ages. Because you're right, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
No.
I've spoken before about he's also played that position. I think people go to Mikel Merino as a player that's playing that position and doing amazing things, but Lewis-Skelly is also doing the same. And I think he's just it made me lose my whole soul when after that game against Real Madrid, I voice noted his mum. Probably the most embarrassing voice note ever, saying you've.
Let's hear it then.
But I wasn't even drunk. I was so, bro. I listened to it back. It sounds like I'm pissed, and it's most. But I was just like, I never do things like that. But I was just, I'm so. I felt like it was my son, and I'm not even too far off his age. It's great. Well, actually, no, I'm a little bit older than him, but I just lost my whole soul. But that performance alone stood out to me so much. And like you said, Rice will get all the plaudits and whatnot, and other players, but Lewis-Skelly, phenomenal talent. And
Everyone always thinks I bring this up because I'm Italian, but genuinely, Calafiori being back, he'll have a part to play if we're to go far in this competition.
Ooh.
I really think. Well, maybe not starting, but to see out games, to give the rest to Lewis-Skelly on the weekend, or even
Ben White as well, to be fair.
Yeah, Ben White
Yeah.
massively. Those two coming back, the work these defenders are going to have to do, because look, we don't score many goals. I can't believe we scored 3 the other night here against Real Madrid. The defenders will need to keep fresh. And actually, a bit disappointed we couldn't rotate even a bit more against, for example, Brentford in the back four. So those two coming back will be a big help, I think, for Lewis-Skelly, Kivior and Timber.
That's a great point. Calafiori came back last time after injury and ended up scoring one of the winning goals, I think, against Wolves. So, like, I mean, not saying that will happen again, but he came back with a bit of a bite, like, hey, don't forget
But
about
he's got
me.
enthusiasm. You bring him on, 20... I don't know if he's available for this game, but 20 minutes to go at the Bernabeu, say it's 1-1 or 1-0 down. That's the kind of legs I'd like to bring on. Only thing is, he gets cooked by wingers, so I don't know if I'd want him up against Vinicius and Rodrigo. But generally, I think those are the options we should be looking at. Not putting it all on Lewis-Skelly to suddenly be able to just see the job out. He can. He's super talented, but mentally, right, he can get drained. There's a lot of football to play, so yeah.
Midfield free.
Oh, God, well, we don't know about Partey being available, do we, because of this injury?
Yeah.
Look, assuming Partey and Jorginho aren't fit because they came off, I'll go Marino, Rice, Odegaard. What can we do?
There is one thing more we could do,
I know what you're going to say. Go on.
which is to play Ethan and Odegaard in front of Rice.
Oh,
But is
no.
that too much of an expressive
God.
midfield?
Oh, I didn't know he was going to go with that.
I mean, look, Jorginho comes in for Partey, I imagine, if Partey is out.
Yeah.
Partey's fit, he starts. Rice in the 6, Marino, and then Odegaard is probably what we will go with, because I think, if I'm honest, that's the midfield trio I think he wanted to kind of start with this season. But Partey's been so consistent and so good and hasn't been as injured as he usually is. Therefore, we've seen Partey in the midfield, and let's be real, he's been our best midfielder this season, in my opinion. So I think, Partey, Rice, and Odegaard is what we'll go with. But if Partey's out and Jorginho isn't fit and both of them can't make this game, I don't see another option but Rice, Marino, and Odegaard, unless he wants to bring Ethan into the middle in a mix. But
Or
that's a risk.
Zinchenko off the bench.
Or
in there.
Zinchenko, yeah.
Let me say, I like your midfield, by the way, of Waneri, Odegaard, Rice.
Yeah.
I just think in this game,
a risk.
I'd fear for both Waneri and Odegaard. It's not even just an age thing. I think it's a difficult game for them to impose themselves on.
I'd play Odegaard in the 8 though, by the way, and Waneri in the 10.
No,
That's what I would do.
Honestly, I
like
would
that too.
love to see that.
Odegaard in the 8 for me is
I
what
think
he
that
is.
will come eventually.
That's my dream
Well, let me
midfield.
ask you both. What would you do if Jorginho's fit but Partey isn't? Would you keep Marino up front and play Jorginho with Rice and Odegaard? 'Cause
I mean, Jorginho is
change
that
my
kind
mind
of
all the
guy
time.
that can come in with the experienced head, to be fair to him. So I wouldn't mind him coming into the 6, if I'm honest. I like Rice in the 6. A lot of people like him in the 8. I have that debate quite a bit. So Rice would probably be my idea for a 6. But I wouldn't mind Jorginho coming in, if I'm honest with you, because in the sort of big games that he has played, last season against Man City and Liverpool, he was outstanding. And they were massive games. And I know it's not quite Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, but
agreed.
you got to get close to the kind of big moments. And he's been and done it. hasn't he,
He's
Jorginho?
done the
Yeah.
Champions League. He's done
Yeah.
it. He's played in high pressure games. He's played in fighting. He's won Europe. Like this should be, apart from his age being a factor that people might consider, the legs in that midfield, mentally and ability wise and his footballing IQ, he should be more than comfortable in the Bernabeu and be able to deal with that. So I wouldn't mind if that's the case. That's the case. I do like the idea of my dream would be that Rice in the 6 and Ethan Waneri. I've been screaming that for weeks anyway, but he's probably not going to do that. That's what I'd want to see. What I think is going to go with what we've kind of all mentioned. He'll probably drop Marino back in if Partey's not available.
Partey
Okay.
and Jorginho.
And sorry, yeah, Partey and Jorginho are not available. Sorry. Okay, front three, lads. What do you want to see and what do you think Arteta's going to go with?
Well, it kind of goes back to that midfield thing. So simply, if Mourinho drops back, they'll go Saka, Trossard, Martinelli. If Jorginho's available, I think there's every chance he keeps Mourinho up front and Trossard doesn't start. On Friday Arsenal, I was saying that's what I'd go with, Jorginho in midfield with Mourinho up front. But I keep changing my mind. Even now, a day on, I'm now thinking, well, actually, Trossard, a bit of a match win on the counter-attack. So I don't know. But let's assume those players aren't available. Yeah, Trossard starts.
Yeah, I think when you look at what Trossard's done, scored against Bayern Munich in big games, scored against Porto at the end, both at the Emirates, I think they were in the Champions League. I do see him more as a sub, I've got to say it. I think Trossard, when he comes on, impacts the game better. But if Mourinho drops, he's the only one you can really put down there, unless you go with Martinelli and Waneri. But I don't think that's going to happen. So for me, I think Saka, Martinelli and Mourinho, they probably deserve it as well. Let's be real, it's be very harsh to switch it around too much. If Party's out, you're going to have to. But other than that, I think the rest of the team needs to keep their place, if I'm honest.
I think that's very fair. There's not really much more to say on that. I think the boys deserve to keep their positions. If it was Saka, Mourinho and Martinelli, but it only changes if Partey's out. And also if Jorginho's out, is also an added factor as well. So that is it for the Predicted 11 videos. What we want to see, what we think Arteta's going to go with as well. Let us know who you want to see. Is there anyone we didn't mention, or is there anyone you would like to see make an appearance in this game? And who can be the person might be a game changer, someone off the bench. We know Sterling's available now. His suspension's done. Listen, it's probably not going to make any difference, but at some stage he's going to have
On the counter, to nick a win at the Bernabeu.
Imagine. That's all he does, is get us through.
I will take that. I will take that. We stunk out the place so far. I will take a stink out the whole place.
If he has any contribution to us winning the Champions League, and Chelsea have paid for half his wages throughout that year,
I'll laud him.
Successful signing.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
That's shameless.
It's a shame. It's as shameless as it gets. I don't care. We'll be Champions League winners.
But
let's get there. Let's get there first.
Exactly that. All right, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video on your way out, and I'll see you again soon, people. Take care. Peace.